that it's, that's him 100%. I mean, without me hearing his voice, I'm like, it's unconfirmed. But if you got friends that knew him and grew up with him saying it's confirmed, then I gotta say, hey, yeah, this is probably Brian Koberger. But I did send it into the FBI. I did clip that. I also went through 80,000 phone calls, found the number, sent it into the FBI as well, and they have that, and hopefully they get down to that information.
Good. Do you know that they are in receipt of it? Did they come back to you at all?
I know they have it. I never got an email back yet. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We are back again today. Today is 6/20/2023. This is not a pre-recorded live. We are live right now. If you're here, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. Also, what is going on, everybody? I am here. I haven't been in the studio in a minute. I need to get back into the studio, right? It's only right. Welcome in the DAX. I appreciate you joining. Thank you. What's going on, Prosser gang? I see you, Jackie, Sherry, D Smalls. What's going on, D Smalls? Shout out. Nice to see you. We need to do it live on the other channel again, huh? I'm waiting for that new SB7 Pro to come out. What up, Sussin Gardner? What's going on with you? Welcome to the stream. Now, hold up. Before we get started, before we take phone calls and do all that, I do want to read something real quick because it's what I was reading this morning, or not this morning. I read it actually yesterday. It says Brian Koberger to fight indictment as lawyers ramp up Idaho suspect's defense. Now it says Idaho student murder suspect Brian Koberger plans to fight the grand jury indictment against him in November 2022, stabbing deaths of 4 undergrads, and his lawyers have asked the court to stay proceedings as they wrestle with the prosecutors over the disclosure of more materials, according to new court filings. Now it goes, police arrested Brian Koberger about 7 weeks after they allege he snuck into an off-campus rental home on November 13, 2022, and killed Kaylee Gonsalves, 21, Madison Mogan, 21, Xana Kernodle, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20. Judge John Judge entered a not guilty plea on Koberger's behalf at his arraignment last month when the defendant chose to stand silent. Now they're saying that he was standing silent because he wanted to reserve his right to challenge this grand jury indictment. That's, exactly what it was. After I had to go back over the documents last night just to refresh myself. So I kind of took off. I wasn't even in Discord. I was just looking at documents and hanging out and looking at stuff pertaining to the case because I'm very interested in, like I said yesterday on yesterday's live, why are they acting like there was material in the grand jury indictment that they're holding out to show in the lawyers? Like they seen some type of evidence that they don't have. So it says in court filings, it says, Ann Taylor explained the move was intended to preserve his right to contest the indictment, which is what we were getting at. Mr. Koberger has the right and intends to contest the indictment, Taylor said in a motion to stay proceedings last week amid a standoff with prosecutors as she seeks to obtain grand jury materials. In order to To fight the indictment, she said the defense wants additional grand jury materials that prosecutors have not handed over as of now. Okay, now is that illegal that they didn't hand over these materials? Or is it something that they have in that 51 terabytes? Now it says Mr. Koberger seeks to stay the proceedings as an appropriate relief while the matter of the grand jury record is argued and prepared, Taylor wrote. He is exercising due diligence to discover the grounds upon which to file a motion to dismiss related to how the grand jury was selected. He is being delayed through no fault of his own. Now it's saying prosecutors from Latah County in the state attorney general's office countered that Koberger's argument is misplaced and deficient under state law. Now it says defendant asked this court to put the cart before the horse, stay the case now, and defendant will give the court a basis for the stay later. Now prosecutors wrote in their objection, the court should decline to adopt this backward reading of the requirements of Idaho Code S2213. Defendant's motion should be denied. So I mean, it's getting I don't know, man. It's getting heated for me. Like with this whole grand jury defense and them fighting back and forth, or not. I wouldn't say them because the grand jury they're not fighting back and forth. They're really fighting with the prosecution here, right? So let's check out this video that was released before. And I kind of, even though I don't even really like. I gotta put it out there. I really don't even like Ashley Banfield. Like at the beginning of this case, before I even all right. So let's put it out there before we dive into this. I kind of want to tell you guys something because I did like Ashley Banfield before I took true crime to YouTube, but after following cases and the way that she covers them, etc., like I grew to not like Ashley Banfield in some sense. You know, it's like a point where I just don't like her. I like Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace, they should have kept her on HLN. That's just my personal opinion. We have our people we like and we have our people we don't like, right? I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody in chat, though. I do want to say what's up before I press play on this video, and then I open up the phone calls. Weston says, I like the studio. I've been doing something in the studio, though. I've been actually rearranging the studio and setting up my merch machine, and I have a bunch of different stuff that I have bought for the studio. I got to really maneuver it around. I've been changing the whole studio around, got the carpet changed. We got the green screen fully set up. Aliens did it. Night Nurse, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Janet Smith, welcome to the stream. I appreciate you guys coming by the stream this morning. Sosa, what are you doing, buddy? We got Sosa in the building, right? We got Sosa in the building. These Smalls, I love the box. I appreciate you. Jeff, what's going on, my man? Jeff, shout out to Jeff. Jeff, nice to see you today, my brother. Heather, what's going on? Sosa, why you smacking me? Huh? Sosa's over here smacking. I guess he wants attention, right? What's up, Sosa? He's over here going, you smacking me. What are you smacking me for? You want treats? What is it? Sosa wants attention, guys. He's over here smacking me. What's going on? A-Rob 60? Hopefully I said that right. Mar R in the building. Kaylin in the building. Tammy Fletcher in the building. Heather says, hey, T-REV, have you heard about the Kyron Hormon case? Grizzly is doing a deep dive on it. I remember this case from the very beginning. No, I don't. I actually need to check it out. Send me some information on it. Definitely send me some information on it. Let's see. CKI says, for the best YouTube channel and family and treats for Sosa. Thank you so much, CKI. I appreciate you. Shout out to CKI, always showing support. Sosa over here, he must have known you did that. I didn't even see that. He must have known. He jumping over here like, yeah, give me some damn treats. Look at him. He's like trying to steal the show. Look at him. Shout out to y'all, though. I appreciate you. Let me fix this. Hold up. There we go. Sosa's scratching me, and he's like, give me some damn treats, Dad. But shout out to y'all. He said, oh. Now that I got that, so I'll get you some treats, buddy. Chill. Don't scratch me no more. Defense dragging their feet. I am lit. Hold up. I am list. What does this YouTube title mean in the legal context? Given the facts, my eyes are still working. What do you mean? What, prosecution hiding grand jury evidence? That's what they're claiming. The defense is claiming that the prosecution is hiding materials that they shown the grand jury that they haven't seen. That's what the title means. So when you read that title, that's what I'm talking about. So that's why I titled it that way. And that's what they're claiming. The defense is claiming that they showed the grand jury something that they don't have. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's kind of a funky situation. I need those law junkies to call in today. I need to hear from my law junkies that really know law. Now, I know that laws in every state are different. We got all these states in America, and law is different in a lot of these states. So people who know law, I want to hear from y'all. Patricia says, hey guys, good morning. That doesn't mean that anybody can't call in, by the way. Everybody can call in. I just want to hear from my people who are studying law and could possibly know the answer to the situation. It could be a move by the defense. And that's why I'm playing this video by Ashley Banfield. Shout out to Ashley Banfield, by the way. Not. Trev, I sent you an email yesterday asking if you want to look at my theory on who was the target and why. I don't want to waste your time if you don't want to look at it. I will look at it. Did you send it to my email? You sent it to my email, I'm assuming? I'll definitely check it out. Thank you, Susie. Let's see what else we got. They hope they can dig up something wrong with the indictment. So Regina says they hope they can dig up something wrong with the indictment. It's all there in black and white, literally. Jump in the car, be back shortly. Chess match, doll, I'm great. Weather Scotland today. In Scotland, damn. Denise says, I agree with you, T-REV. I don't know. That must have been something I said a while back because that was at 10:08, but I appreciate you. Let's watch this.
I like learning new words. And I remember long ago getting into the legal profession, learning about the word dilatory. It's fancy, lots of syllables, but it's super important because a lot of people use dilatory tactics in law or in trials. And I'm getting the sneaking suspicion that one Brian Kohberger and his legal team might be using dilatory tactics. It's like a delay. It's an effort to span something out. And the reason I think that is because his lawyers have been making all sorts of efforts to slow down the process. They want more time to look into the, let's say, grand jury process to see if the indictment's even a good one. And then they ask for discovery again and again and again. Could very well be because they're not getting what they should be getting. But I do wonder about
I gotta know what's going on.
And if that's what's happening in Idaho right now. I know somebody who knows way more about this than I do. It's Andrew Cherkasky. He's a criminal defense attorney and a former federal prosecutor. He's with me now live. The reason I ask this is because the state of Idaho has had to go on the record and say, we object, Ann Taylor, who's the lawyer for Brian Kohberger, we object to your effort to stop the proceedings.
What's going on,
Dave? You can do
Dave?
more of a looky-loo through all the grand jury process. Is this normal or is this dilatory?
Well, I think we're still in a normal territory. We're only a little over a month from the indictment that happened back in May. And what the defense is doing at this point is they're doing everything I think they need to do to protect every angle of the case, to make sure that they're getting all of the documents and all of the time they need to review those documents and file their motions. Now, do I think that they're taking tactics that are going to help Mr. Kohberger in the end? I don't, but don't.
Stop there, because I was going to ask you about this whole business about the state having to come in and object to Ann Taylor's, requests for additional discovery on the grand jury. I have not heard this before. Maybe it's just because I'm not as much as skilled as you are.
What's up, Mama Stormy?
I have not heard of a robust fight against the grand jury process and the indictment itself. Is that rare, or is this just like throw every piece of spaghetti you can?
I think it's relatively rare, and I actually had to dig into it a little bit today.
Okay, so he's saying it's relatively rare. Can anybody in here name any cases that this has happened in? Anybody. I mean, any case that you can remember where you could say, yeah, this, they were challenging the grand jury indictment and they were doing this, that, and the third. But I mean, they're saying it's rare. So, I mean, rare would be, you would only be able to pick a couple cases out there that this has happened in. And that's what rare means to me.
As I was prepping to be here, I think it's what they're indicating they're going after is the makeup of the grand jury. So was there a problem in the selection or the people? Were there biases in the grand jury members? If they perhaps have some sort of insight into that we don't know, maybe they're onto something.
Thank you, Susan. I appreciate you.
But realistically, we rarely see that happen. Grand juries are almost untouchable in terms of what happens there. They're relatively secret. There really is very little attack to be had. The Supreme Court hasn't said much about it. So it's an interesting tactic. It's early in the process. I don't see it going very far.
It gives us something to talk to because there's a gag order and we can't get all the goods.
Well, there's so much we want to know about the case and so much about those details that we don't know right now. So we're looking at all of the little details along the way.
Is there ever? It was really technical the way this battle, this sort of sparring. It's very technical. I'm not going to bore everybody with it, but safe to say you didn't write it down properly. That's the objection that the prosecutors had. You didn't give us a sworn statement. It was in a footnote. It shouldn't have been a footnote. And that's all very technical. I assume the judge is going to say, can we move on with it? No, we're not going to stay the proceedings for this.
I think that's what the judge is going to say. We're going to know this basically by this time next week. On the 26th, there's a hearing coming up.
27th, I think.
27th, excuse me. On the 27th, there's a hearing coming up, and they're going to discuss all of this. And I think this is going to be the judge calling balls and strikes, saying you need to hand this over to the defense. Defense, you don't need this much time. It's going to be relatively ordinary in that regard. And that's what the judge is there for, when the sides can't agree. And I'm sure that Mr. Kohberger doesn't want his attorney agreeing to random things with the prosecutors here. He seems to have a fighting spirit about him. So this is where the judge comes in and calls balls and strikes, as we like.
Let me ask you this last question, and it's the one I like to continue asking until I get the final answer from the judge on this case. 31 days until the prosecutors have to be on the record as to whether they're going to seek the death penalty in this case. Do you see any way around them not saying absolutely?
I can absolutely not see this going any way but capital. There's about a dozen factors that are considered in Idaho in taking cases to go capital, multiple victims, the way in which the crime was committed, and many more considerations. This hits many of those, the majority of them, in fact. And so when you have that many on the table, I can't see a rationale for why you wouldn't in a state that allows it. Otherwise, it's just a political move with prosecutors who don't believe in the death penalty.
What is the death penalty? Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation now.
All right, we'll leave it at that. I want to actually let's get to the phone calls, right? Let's get to the phone calls. Make sure you call in. I want to hear from you. 219-885-9693. What's your thoughts right now with what the defense is going through with the grand jury? They're saying the grand jury is holding out information. I know we talk about it. A lot of people called in yesterday, didn't get through. Let's hear from you. 219-885-9693. And today, I think we're going to switch back to the time limits at 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. How about that? Boom. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's hear from you. Let me make this wider too. Pop that up. Turn off. Okay, do not disturb is turned off. You can call in right now if you want it. 219-885-9693. Nobody calls in. I'm going to open up the panel and bring people up. We're going to do it that way too. T-REV, what's your email? trev757psn@gmail.com or the email you see on your screen right now. That is my email. Agree with you about Banfield. Yeah, Banfield, I don't know, man. I grew not to like her, just as a reporter. I don't know her as a person, but 870, what's going on? You're live.
T-REV, it's me, Regina.
What's going on, Regina?
Okay, I gotta let you guys know something.
Okay.
There have been actual convictions overturned because of misconduct by the grand jury.
Okay.
Okay, that is a fact. I've posted one of the cases in Discord for you. Mm-hmm. But here's the whole thing. Brian Kohberger is not challenging the evidence that the prosecutor presented during the grand jury indictment. Brian Kohberger is on a fishing expedition to see if there was any kind of misconduct by any grand jury member during the time that they were inconvenienced with the grand jury. In other words, he's looking for anyone who, and this is going to be the thing, this is very hard to prove. He has to prove that a grand jury member was either illegitimately selected and was not qualified to sit on the grand jury at the time that they sat, or he is going to have to prove that they had some kind of knowledge of the actual evidence prior to the grand jury convenience, and it's going to have to be actual proof knowledge of evidence that was presented during the grand jury trial. Okay, and let me explain to y'all exactly why Ann Taylor is doing this. Because they have so much evidence against Brian Kohberger that they are pulling every string, every single motion they can file, they're going to file. They're going to inspect everything because there is so much damning evidence against Brian Kohberger that he is going to be convicted unless they can find one flaw in the red tape or in the handling of this case to dismiss it or get him off. But here's the whole thing. It does not matter about the grand jury indictment, because even if he challenges the grand jury indictment and it gets overturned, he has still been charged in a court of law by a magistrate. He found enough evidence to charge Brian Kohberger with murder. All a grand jury indictment did was cancel out the preliminary hearing. It's all about buying time. That's all this is going on, period.
Okay, so you're saying it's all about just buying time? Well, I mean,
okay. Can I say something real quick to somebody that just said something in chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Check it out. Windjammer. Let me explain to you the kind of evidence they have against Brian Kohberger that I have done the research on and can prove. They have data evidence from Brian Kohberger's car that I have proven with a manufacturer's owner's manual from the year 2010 to the year 2015. It was equipped with a data RVD or RVE, however you say it. But there's also a Braylar specifically designed, not Braylar, Burla report that can be filed on that car that is forensic evidence. They can tell you how fast that car was going. They can tell you every direction that car turned. They can tell you whether or not you used your signal, your blinker. They can tell you if you opened your car door, whether you put your seatbelt on. And people say, oh, it's just for 20 seconds worth of data recorded. You're wrong. 20 data seconds recorded is for the insurance company's convenience. There is a separate system in your car that records everything. Your car is exactly like a computer. It records every time you click a mouse, touch a mouse, push a button, pull a lever. It records everything. And they can use that data and create a map just like a Google map and show every single place you went and everything you did in your car down to 3 feet.
Somebody said echo. Is it still echoing? What's up? See echo. Somebody said echo.
So everybody out here saying they don't have all this evidence against Brian Kohberger, let me tell you what Ann Taylor is dealing with right now. Ann Taylor has enough evidence, I promise you, in that woman's mind. She knows her defendant is guilty, and she is just trying to save his life at this point. And let me tell you something else. Brian Kohberger is the one running Ann Taylor. It's not Ann Taylor running the show.
Talk your shit, Regina. People are saying. Yeah, I mean, so I just try, I'm trying to think, like, what are they claiming that the prosecution showed something to the grand jury that they didn't have? I mean, and if they did, what kind of issues does that cause?
Well, if you look in that report, it said that they are looking for grounds. They are looking for grounds. In other words, it's just like the Bethany Funk fishing expedition. That's all it is. It's a ploy. It's a tactic. And it's something that, yes, every defense attorney that is worth their salt is going to do. They got so much evidence against him, it ain't going to do a bit of good.
Nah, that's. I don't see them. Yeah, I mean,
this paperwork that Ann Taylor, yes, Denise the Tillo. T-REV, would you please pull up the owner's manual for 2010 to 2015 so people will quit saying it don't have the technology? It does. Standard.
Regina, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. I'm gonna take this next phone call. I appreciate you.
I got you. I'm sorry, T-REV. I'm just passionate about it. I love you.
I know. You can call back too. God bless you. I appreciate you, Regina. You know I love you.
I got you, brother.
You know I love you. 916, you're in the mix. What's going on?
Hey, T-REV, it's West End.
What's up, West End? Shout out to Regina for the last call too. West End, you got 5 minutes and 30 seconds starting right now. What's your thoughts?
Okay, I just wanted to comment on the the difference between the preliminary hearing and the grand jury. So, 9 out of 10 times, prosecutors will prefer to go to a grand jury than a preliminary hearing. And on a preliminary hearing, of course, the defense gets a chance to cross-examine the prosecutor's witnesses, the people that they have subpoenaed, and get to ask questions where they're going to be able to take a deep dive into what they have and kind of be able to pull out from the prosecutor's witnesses on what their stance is going to be, kind of like pull out a story. A lot of ways, like a detective would be doing an interrogation or they get questioning you and then they can get you, you said this. So with a grand jury, they're not able to do that. In fact, the lawyer nor the defendant knows that there's going to be a grand jury. It's a surprise. And they're not able to be present for it. So it's totally, completely normal. And they're not doing anything wrong. What they're upset about is that they haven't been presented or haven't even been able to present their side of what they consider as exculpatory. And exculpatory is just a fancy word for saying this is evidence that we believe would get our person off. We believe that this is evidence that we have that would show that our guy didn't do it. So in a grand jury, they don't get that opportunity to do that. And that's kind of like, sometimes they'll say that a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. That's because they only need, it's got to be 9 out of the 16 people have to agree that there's probable cause for this person to go to trial for this crime. And so, again, the defense is not present, neither is the defendant, and they're not able to ask questions. They're not able to cross-examine them. They're not able to state anything that they want to say or show their exculpatory evidence or ask the state for their inculpatory evidence, which means these are facts that they feel that they have that show that that the defendant did do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what they're doing right now by stalling and saying, hey, we want to throw this grand jury indictment out because we didn't get to hear or get to state our exculpatory evidence, which is, is ridiculous. That is a complete, that would be unprecedented. That's never going to happen. A grand jury indictment is basically as solid as they come because it is 16 people random, unless you can show a severe bias within the grand jury.
Don't mind that. That was just my alarm. Don't mind that.
Oh, I'll let you go. That's okay.
No. That was the alarm on my phone to wake my butt up if I slept in.
Well, come on, sucker, get up.
you know. But keep going. You're good.
So, So it would be it's almost constitutionally would never happen to throw out a grand jury unless they could show that there was a real bias within the 16 grand jurors. Otherwise, it is completely, I don't know what the right word is, except for it's a normal precedent to have a grand jury, and it's always the favor of the prosecution to do that. That way you don't have to show your hand to the defense attorney, of course. So that's what I wanted to offer.
I mean, the way that they're putting it out, it makes it seem like, there's something there's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I mean, I feel like if that gag order wasn't there, we would know specifically, but it's like the way that they're challenging it, and it makes it seem like that they're holding out something, and it just seems like they would have. You would think they would have what they seen.
No, I think Ann Taylor is an excellent attorney. I do. I think what she's probably doing is crossing her T's, dotting her I's, finding every little possible thing that she could find this is what good lawyers do. Is saying, okay, I'm gonna reserve this right. This is a possible problem. I might be able to poke a hole here. So this is gonna be a long trial. I bet you they won't even go to trial until probably next year. This will be stalled, and because she's a good attorney. That's kind of what they do. And
she's a public pretender, though.
Well, I don't think
I'm sure Brian could get an all-star or an all-star defense team just on the strength of how high profile this case is.
And he could always fire his public defender, Ann Taylor, and hire these people if they wanted to do it at a quid pro quo, which is you scratch my back, I scratch your back. I'll do your thing for free, and then we want book rights or something like that, or we want to be whatever.
I mean, just based off how high profile this case is, there's probably defense attorneys out there that would literally take this shit pro bono just to get a name, just to not even just to get a name. People that already have a name, just to further solidify their name. It's wild, right?
And T-REV, that could still happen.
I know. I think
that
about
could absolutely still happen. And I think it's really interesting to see that Brian Kohlberger in the beginning said he was wanting a speedy trial, and now we're seeing the opposite. I mean, Brian Kohlberger is a very intelligent person. He's a player. He knows what time it is. So I will let you go. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely, Weston. I appreciate you. Thank you for calling in. You already know the drill. Lock your doors, stay safe, and I'm going to hear from you again. If you think of anything else, call back just as well as anyone else.
Tell Sosa that I love him.
Who?
Sosa.
Oh, Sosa. That's my boy.
The baby.
I appreciate you, Weston. Thank you so much. God bless you. 317 sent from heaven. What's going on your live?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
Well, I just think this is a fascinating case because of the gag order. I believe there has to be so much going on behind the scenes that none of us know yet. And I really think that both the prosecution and the defense are playing absolute hardball with each other. Mm-hmm. They have every right to get a grand jury indictment. Absolutely true. The thing is, they waited for 6 months with this guy in jail to get the grand jury indictment, to even select a grand jury. And it really seems with the timing that they only did that because the defense was going to call Bethany Funk for exculpatory evidence. So since she's completely absent from the PCA, I really wonder that her story is not going to completely knock out the timeline that Dylan gave them. Dylan's story doesn't make any sense. And I'm sure she went through a lot, and I feel bad for the girl. But to not call 911 if you're so scared that you're hiding in your room and you're afraid to come out, why would you not call 911? It makes no sense. So I think that she's referring to exculpatory evidence, so she has something. And her motions indicate that she found it in that 50 terabytes of data or however much data that they presented her with. Well, that people keep calling it evidence, but it's not evidence. It's discovery. It's everything they collected, all the tips, all the videos that may have nothing to do with it. Every interview that they had with someone who they later cleared is going to be in that discovery, or it should be. And they started out saying that they only had 996 documents, I think. And then the second motion, when they responded to that, they had 10,000 documents they handed over. And it started with one video, and then they had over 100 videos they handed over the second time. So I think that Ann Taylor, if you look at her cases, and I'm an attorney, I didn't practice criminal law, but I practiced law. And you don't put that in writing unless you have a reason to think that they're hiding something from you. And I don't know what they're hiding. I mean, he might be guilty as can be. And if so, I hope he does the time and he gets convicted. But right now, Ann Taylor has a track record of getting other criminal convictions overturned on appeal because police officers in Idaho lied on the stand. You know, this is not the most up and up operation, in my opinion. If you look at the body cam video when Kaylee is talking at the noise complaint to Officer Payne, she seems to really hate this guy. And maybe that's just because she's got too many noise complaints, but maybe she knows something about this guy. I don't know. I just know that this whole case is so weird and the secrecy is so bizarre. The timeline shifted from 3 to 4 a.m. to 4:05 to 4:20 a.m. And then it was a 2011 to 2013 white Hyundai Elantra, and now it's a 2015 white Hyundai Elantra. I mean, the whole thing just doesn't make sense. Something just smells funny. And I think that as a good attorney, when you have a client that's possibly going to receive the death penalty, you have to overturn every rock and see if there's anything there. And I think that's all she's doing. You know, she's not getting all the information she wants. She's having to ask. She's asked for the third time now, and every time she asks, she gets more information that they told her before they'd already handed over all the information. So she has to keep asking. It's her duty. And it is a crazy move. I've never seen it happen in a case before, but I've never seen somebody have someone sitting in jail for 6 months before a preliminary hearing and then decide at the last minute to cancel the preliminary hearing on them and have a grand jury instead. And he only has so many days to argue that the grand jury indictment has a fault. And so they don't have the full transcript yet. So how can he decide if there is something wrong with the grand jury evidence if he can't read the whole transcript? He doesn't know what happened. So I think she's doing her job. I think she's a great attorney. I don't know if he's guilty or not, but I don't think anybody else does either. I know the first caller mentioned basically the black box data in the car or the GPS. She's absolutely right about that, but we don't know what it says.
Right.
And I have a feeling Ann Taylor doesn't know what it says either.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's just trying to get all of the data she can so she can make the proper defense, whatever that is. Maybe she, you know, if it's clear he's guilty, she might try to talk him into pleading guilty to get out of the death penalty. But if there's something there that they didn't uncover, you know, she wouldn't be doing her job if she didn't try to find out what that was.
Right. That's
so
very
I think she's just doing her job. And being a public defender, some of them are public pretenders, as the one caller put it, and some of them are the best ever meet. Ann actually worked in a private law practice for a while and went back to public defending because I think she's one of those constitutionalists who wants everybody to have their day in court and have a fair trial. And as much police corruption as she has uncovered legal career in Idaho, I have to think she knows something.
Yeah, that's
the Brady Giglio is somebody on that police squad has already been under investigation for something.
Yeah, I know. I think wasn't it from the sticker gate? That's what I was able to find. There was like a sticker gate with a dude named Rory Wilson, and it led back to these other dudes. But I ended up finding that after digging through a bunch of shit like corruption in Idaho. I know that. Who was it that lied on the stand? I think it was Gunderson. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I dug and found that too.
I put a video up about it. I made a video about it.
I'll check it out then. I haven't seen your video on it, but I was digging through, and I'm not 100% sure it's Gunderson, but it sure looks like it was. And Gunderson had a role to play. And then when you look at the search warrant, one search warrant mentioned the touch DNA. If you do not find this, I can't remember how they phrased it now, but basically, if this evidence isn't enough for probable cause, please disregard it so that it would not cause the search warrant to be ineffective if the judge decided that was not going to be admissible. Well, now they don't want to admit the genealogical evidence and how they found Kohberger from this sheath. To me, that's just shady as hell. I don't know that there's anything there. It could just be a fumbling, maybe they're just a small town police squad that's just not good at handling big cases. It could be fairly innocent, but we don't know. So I don't know any more than anybody else does. I can legally, strategically, I can absolutely see why she's doing it, and I think she's right to. She's never been accused that I know of any kind of corruption, unlike some of the cops in this area. So I trust her to try to get to the truth, whatever that is. And I trust the process. You got to have two lawyers willing to duke it out and make their case to the judge and hope that the judge tries to be fair and impartial.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. Where are you calling in from?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. Shout out to you from Indianapolis. Shit, I was just there not too long ago.
Yeah, we're following Delphi pretty close now in Florida. We got all kinds of cases ourselves. So
yes, Delphi. I don't know. I want to try to be in attendance to that trial, but we'll see how it plays out.
Well, if so, we should meet up. It's only about 45 minutes away from me, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally 10 minutes away from where I go camping, and it's an hour away from where I live. So.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hope to see you there.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you. I appreciate you expressing and using your voice in the community in general. A lot of people don't have the balls to do that, so I appreciate you calling in. God bless you.
Thanks.
Thank you, man. Shout out to her. Wonderful call. 219-885-9693. Call in. I want to hear from you. 5 minutes and 30 seconds, everybody get. We lower the time limit today. I don't know. I feel like I'm about to scrap this time limit. Like, I hate time limits. If I'm having a good conversation, I think I should ride. But 219-885-9693. Call in. I want to hear from you. How are you feeling? I'm feeling $1 million. 757 sent from heaven. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, T-REV, it's Donna.
What's up, Donna? I already know. I trust me. I know you. I got your number locked in.
Okay, I got you.
What's
How
up?
are you today?
I'm good. Let's go.
Good.
Jump into it. Let's go. Get that passion flying out.
Well, the only thing I was just listening to the last caller. She was talking about the 6 months. They waited 6 months to call, to bring this grand jury, the secret grand jury together. And I had said this previously on another live, is one of the things that I read about that is they waited 6 months because of the media coverage. They wanted that to die down, and they wanted they wanted impartial jury, so they have to have, they wanted to let time pass so that people kind of, I don't want to say they forget details, but they don't, not everybody keeps up with the case. I said that a couple days ago when you had it live. So a lot of times that's the reason why they did that. And as far as challenging this indictment, I just think it's just, to me, it just seems like it's a stall tactic. It's a way to get more time, because they do have to disclose the transcript from when the grand jury was put together, and they put the transcript and I think the notes, just not the deliberation. And I had said that before, but I don't know. I just think because of the fact that it's such a high-profile case, and they really want to know that that what the grand jury is being presented is accurate, that the grand jury that was brought together, that everyone there was within the legal, I don't know, definition or whatever of what a grand jurist should be, as far as how they're I don't know how to word it, how they're chosen, I guess, and if there's any error, because if they did, if there is any error according to some of the stuff I've read about it, they can correct the error and re-indict him depending on what that error is.
Right.
But also, as far as evidence goes, I don't think, one of the things that I did read on one of these legal websites was that they have 10 days before the trial to actually, it said they had 10 days before the trial to actually present everything. And it can actually go to the day of the trial. They can give. So what she's asking for, any evidence that she's asking for, she can ask over and over again, but it's not necessarily going to get her anywhere, because of the fact that prosecution doesn't have to turn it over just because she's requesting it. Not at this time, there's just too much to go through and too much for them to look at. They're going to give her, they can only give her what they've looked through. You know what I mean? They can only give her the information that they've gone through themselves. So I don't know what she's looking for. It just makes me curious, you know, if it's just a ploy or if it's actually something substantial that they're looking for. I mean, at one point they're talking about an alibi. To me, if he had an alibi, he wouldn't even be in there now, you know?
Right.
That would have come up a long time ago. It wouldn't present itself now. So, you know, because I wouldn't sit in jail if I had an alibi, would you? You know?
Yeah, I mean, anybody who has an alibi isn't in jail usually.
Right, but they were talking about, you know, the evidence that they're not getting to provide him an alibi, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's crap. You have an alibi, you can pull your own evidence to prove you have an alibi, you know. So
right.
I just think it's crap. So, but anyway, that's it. I just wanted to chime in on that part as far as the media coverage and the waiting of the 6 months was really basically what I called. So, see what happens.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Thank you.
Well, definitely see what happens. I appreciate you calling in, Donna, as usual.
No problem.
God bless you. Lock your damn doors and charge your damn cordless phone too.
My son. I love you, T.
I love you back.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Shout out to Donna, man. Shout out to Donna. 219-8596-93. Where's Papa Sal at? What's up? What's going on out here, pal? You know? The car computer was used in the Alec Murdaugh trial. Seriously, how do you need more time for an alibi? You got one or not? Obviously not in this case, in my opinion. Maybe they didn't accept his alibi. Coming in for a few, I don't go to work till 2 p.m. I'm guessing. His alibi will depend on the true time of the crime. Yeah, that's a good point too. Papa is in the building. He just woke up. He said he's got to get some coffee in him, huh? He's got to get some coffee in him. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I need to get some damn more caffeine in me. I know that for a fact. But make sure you call in at 219-885-9693. The phones are off. Do not disturb. I want to hear from you. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. What is your thoughts about this whole challenging the grand jury? Now, they're claiming that there is hidden evidence that they shown the grand jury, I'm assuming. I mean, that's what I read. I don't know what you read, but I know what I read. Ian Taylor saying, hey, there's some things that they didn't give us yet that they shown the grand jury that indicted my client. Now, I'm assuming that's breaking something, some type of law or something in Idaho. Why else would she be making a big deal about it? Why else would she have her client not, stand silent and not say, not guilty or, why? That's what I want to know. That bothers me the most right now in this case. Also, I mean, we have the Bethany and Dylan. We had the shit come out about Bethany with the whole exculpatory evidence. She might have something for, I don't know. I wonder if they ever met, because do we really know what's going on behind scenes with this gag order? No. Now, I know they stalled that off with this whole grand jury indictment, but how do we know what the hell is happening? I mean, for instance, let's take a case that hits close to home for me. The Delphi case. You got Richard Allen. He allegedly confessed 5 or 6 times of committing that crime. Now, I don't know the full details on how or where, but I mean, that's interesting to me. He doesn't have an alibi. Let's see. Caller, there is a process you have to go through. That is why the defense is wanting everything. You can't say I'm innocent and scream. Thanks for calling in. Trev, how do you feel about the YN? Oh my God. I was watching that. They so far they don't got nothing on him. Period. In my personal opinion, they ain't see him with no guns coming out that studio, getting into that car. Nothing. I've been keeping my eye on that one. Dylan Round's case got the guy on his face on live screen from his phone. You can see all of her requests for discovery. Cap on grand jury, Taylor on fishing expedition, createanalibi.com. Createanalibi.com. Would be interesting to brainstorm as of what kind of alibi BK could have. That white car passing in the background looks like the one parked at Jack D and Adam's house. Interesting. You think so? Trev, can you do a poll on if we think BK is the real killer? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. I'll make a poll on that. Let's make a poll on that. No way. All right, there we go. You asked for the poll, I'll give you the poll. You asked for the poll, I'll give you the poll. Nope, we don't. Hold on. It would break the law. She's just putting doubt out there. The prosecution isn't that stupid. I thought the grand jury was supposed to be protected in private. Otherwise, if a defendant is allowed to get their personal information, nobody would want to serve on a grand jury. Would you report it? Joey Loud. Love you, Irish. Make sure you call in. Like I said, lines are open, 219-885-9693. Nobody calls in. I'm opening the panel and letting people come up. If I don't get a call, I'm just going to open the panel and we'll run it just like that. T-REV, I love the fact that you are questioning. Yeah, I do have an open mind. Now, yeah, I do think that they have their guy as of right now, but I have questions. And if those questions aren't, I'm going to have a problem. You know what I mean? So I'm not a see and believe guy. I see what I've seen on paper. I think it's him so far, but I can be swayed. If the guy, I don't want no innocent guy in prison. 940, what's going on? You're live.
Hi, T-REV. This is Wendy from Texas, and I just wanted to make a couple of observations to point out that Jack Decor, or the one that they were calling that night, that lived just right there behind them.
Yes, ma'am.
His roommate is Hunter. And what I don't understand is if Hunter is the one that discovered Ethan and checked his pulse and everything else, but yet Jack Decor says that he didn't know about it until, what time was it? He said 12 something or whatever.
Right.
I don't see how that's possible, because if he's the ex-boyfriend, they were calling him that night. You know good and well that if, say, things did take place at 8:30 or 9 that morning, like everybody says, that before they called 911, and if Hunter would have discovered him, wouldn't he went straight to Jack, his roommate,
right,
and woke him up and said, oh my God, what, blah, 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 blah. And I just don't, that something's wrong there. Something's completely wrong there, that he says he didn't find out about it until after the police were there. Yeah, because your best friend is the one that discovered, your roommate's the one that discovered his best friend. You've got your ex-girlfriend in that house. There's no way on this earth did he know about that until the police were there. You see what I'm saying? There's no way. Absolutely. He would have been one of the first people to know. Because you live there. You're right there.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. I hear you. For sure.
I mean, I just think there's something up with the Jack. I really do.
Okay, so now you think there's something up with Jack Decor?
I do, because it just don't match.
Okay.
That's your ex-girlfriend. She's calling you that night, or supposedly. It could have been it
9 times. What was it, 7 times or 9 times? What was it? Like 4 times?
9. I think it was.
And 3 from Madison, something like that in that range.
Right.
7 to 9 times.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And he says he was asleep, but yet he was on camera with, at the same bar.
At the corner club. Correct.
Yeah. I mean, how do you go home and pass out that hard? Mm. But I mean, some people can. My ex-husband could, that's for sure. But but then the next morning, and we all know, I don't care what the police say, we all know that about 8:30 that house was loaded with friends and stuff from them calling them. Okay. They say that Hunter is the one that discovered Ethan and checked his pulse. Hunter is Jack's roommate. That's his roommate. You're telling me that you got your ex-girlfriend that was in town only for the weekend. You're not going to be with her, for one thing. And anyway, and you're going to sleep through every phone call that everybody's trying to call you, starting at whatever time that was in the morning, including the next morning when they were discovered at 8:30. You're going to sleep through all of that. Your roommate don't come running back to the house to tell you before they call the police what's going on at that house, that you're awoken by, and this is how he put it, that his roommate and his girlfriend came home and woke him up and told him.
It said that Adam was Jack's roommate, not Hunter. Everybody.
But it also says that I've also seen that Hunter was also. Mm. I mean, yeah, definitely, and Hunter definitely lived right there. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, about it. He lived right there, and I've heard that. I've always heard that. So even if it was Adam that woke him up, okay, and him and his girlfriend, and when he said he got down there, that the police immediately pulled him and took him in for questioning. There is no way on this earth did he not know about that. I mean, that he was asleep during all that time. There's no way. Even, okay, let's just say Hunter, which I've always seen that Hunter and Adam both, that they all lived in that house. That's what I've always understood. But let's just say Hunter didn't live in that house, but he lived right there. He lived right there somewhere. If he's one of the first ones that discovered him, he's still not going to go wake you up. That don't make any sense. It does not make any sense whatsoever. And then when he posted that the other day about Kaylee, what he said about her in that that picture that was posted of her in the bikini, and when he posted after that, that's bad. Nobody would do that. Who would do that?
Well,
I
appreciate
Go
you
ahead.
up and calling in. It's been 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm gonna get some.
Okay.
But I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, and you got a lot of feedback in chat. Go back and read it.
Okay, absolutely.
Thank you, man. I love you back. Lock your doors, stay safe, and I appreciate you having the balls to call up and share what your thoughts are. I really do appreciate
Absolutely.
it. God
Absolutely.
Bless you.
You too.
You have a beautiful day. Shout out to her. 219-885-9693. Let's hear from you. 317, what's going on? You're live.
Hey, it's Heather again. Sorry, I'll keep it short this time.
No, you're fine. You're good. 5 minutes, 30 seconds. What was yours?
I just heard someone talking about now I forgot what I was going to say.
You're good. Go ahead.
Well, I'll skip that one and I'll go to the next one. To me, it looks like in the original video from the ExxonMobil gas station, which police never requested, but the owner or the manager went ahead and looked through her own footage and submitted it to the police and to the public, to the media, it really looks like there's snow in the background. To me, on the sides of the street is clear, and then behind the white Elantra and in the foreground, it looks like there's snow off the side of the road over the grass. And it didn't snow the night of the murders. It snowed 1 or 2 days later, from what I understand. And to me, that just makes me think even more that, okay, are the police just trying to fit a suspect to the timeline that they have, or are they trying to find a suspect and then move the timeline to fit the suspect? I don't know. I don't believe Kohberger is guilty or innocent. I really don't have a pony in the race, but it just causes so many questions to me. And so many of these questions are not necessary. If they would have just talked more. In the beginning, they talked about Chief Fry was in an interview with a reporter saying that they wanted to talk to the occupants of the white Hyundai Elantra.
Yeah, they said occupant or occupants, right?
No, I think they said occupants. I've had that in my head this whole time, and JLR put out a video this morning saying the same thing, occupants, and he played the thing again. And I'm like, that's just weird. Like, why not clear it up?
When I read back, it said occupant or occupants.
Okay, you might be right.
Because that was bothering me too. That what you just said was bothering me so much that I heard it over and over. I was like, man, I got to go back and read this shit again.
Yeah. And I go back and look at some of the old stuff all the time just because it drives me crazy. It keeps me up at night. I don't know why. It shouldn't.
Me too. I know, right?
I have a life, but seriously, I don't act like it sometimes. I get insomnia and watch this stuff again. But it just seems like there was snow on the ground, it looked like. I can't understand what it could be other than snow. It's white in the back and it's white in the front. And I went digging through weather and interviews and people who live there saying that it didn't snow that night. It didn't snow until like a day after. And so you see a video of snow in front of the house, but the video is when they were taking stuff out of the house. So it was like a day or two later when they were removing the mattresses and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember I for some reason I said it snowed, and then people were like, no, it didn't snow that night.
And then there was another video. I went back. Someone told me in a chat the other day to go back to the grub truck video and see if I didn't see Xana. There is a girl. I don't know if it's Xana. I don't have any way. This is where it's so frustrating because I don't have access to any of the information. But it looks like Xana and maybe Ethan at the grub truck for just a split second shortly after Kaylee went up and ordered the food. The girl in the gray sweatshirt.
Right.
And then they said that Xana's dad said that he talked to her around midnight and she was eating pizza. So why would she order Jack in the Box at 4 a.m.? That makes no sense.
There's a lot of stuff that just, I don't know.
And the whole DoorDash driver thing never stuck right with me because it's like, well, how if the murder started at 4:05 and the DoorDash was dropped off at 4:04, there's got to be a connection. Whether a third party ordered the food to create a distraction and get in the house, or the DoorDash driver was the killer. Like, to me, I don't believe in coincidences. So I don't know which way that falls, but it just seems like it has to fall one way or the other almost. Or maybe the killings happened beforehand and then the killer ordered the food on DoorDash, left the front door open, hoping that then the DoorDash driver would come in the house, discover it, and then get framed for the murder. I know it's out there, but this whole case is out there.
Yeah, a lot of people are questioning if the DoorDash driver was Brian. Now, I don't know why that's coming out.
I saw Sleuthie's video, and I find it interesting, and it totally explains the transfer DNA, and that is why it's not usually admissible for a current case. It's maybe admissible for a cold case, but only with, corroborating evidence. But it seems like there's no real hard evidence in this case. I mean, we haven't seen any videos. We haven't seen, even when they released the footage of the car, They released stock footage of the car. A stock photo. They didn't release the video of the car that they were looking at.
Right.
The whole thing is just so weird. I'm sorry. I just have so many questions. Again, I don't believe he's innocent or guilty. I'm just flabbergasted.
Yeah, I'm the same.
None of it makes sense.
A lot of it is just, I mean, there's so much that's hidden too, though. You know, like imagine if we could get access to that 51 terabytes.
Exactly. I mean, it would take so long to go through, but I just wonder. And then you hear all these reports about the frat guys not ever being interviewed. I mean, the whole thing is just so weird. And then we know they interviewed the DoorDash driver. They said that person came forward. And I'm not trying to say it's Brian Koberger. I don't have a clue. I doubt it. I don't think he was making decent money. I looked into what he was making as a grad student. And I worked on a PhD too. And so I understand how TAs work. And he was making a lot more than I did. He was making like $4,000 a month.
Right.
And then free tuition. That's not a bad living for a 28-year-old kid.
No,
so I don't know. But the whole thing it's so weird.
Yeah. I see chat going wild. I appreciate you calling in.
I didn't have that effect on chat. I'm sorry. I'm divisive. I don't mean to be. I really don't. I don't believe he's innocent, and I don't believe he's guilty. I just believe I want to know what's going on because it's weird.
For sure.
All right. Thanks.
I appreciate you calling back. I thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to her. 219-885-9693. Let's hear from you. What's up? She allegedly guilty as fuck. How's the poll? I'll tell you the poll results. 951, what's going on? You're live.
My brother.
What's up, brother? How's it going?
I'm still going to say that looks like my car. I got a 2020 Honda Civic.
Uh-huh.
And it's white. It looks just like my car. I even told my son, I go, look, they're going to come and they're going to pull me over. What? Because my car looks just like that fucking car. Anyway, the DoorDash driver, we got to arrest this shit. I mean,
you sound a little, Papa Sal, you sound a little low right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, talk up a little bit.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, all right, that's a little better, yeah.
It's better or a little better?
It's a little better.
Let me take another sip of coffee. Hold on a second. All right, I'm up. How's that sound?
Go ahead.
Listen. That whole thing with the DoorDash drivers got arrested, brother. It's not a... You know what? I'm going to leave all the legal stuff to the people who have brains.
Mm-hmm. I can't hear you, man. You must be cutting out.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Maybe I got a bad connection.
I don't know. You're super low right now, though. I can't hear you. Go ahead. Start over again.
I'll try and call you back, okay?
No, I can hear you right now. You're good. You're good.
Okay. All right. Okay. I forgot what the fuck I was going to say. Yeah, I want to leave all the legal stuff to the people that are smart in this channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not I'm getting a bad echo. You know what, pal? I'll try and call you back.
All right, Pop.
All right?
Go ahead. Let's try Papa Sal back. Hold up. Be loud and clear on mine.
Hey.
Yeah, you can hear me, pal.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're loud and clear. What's going on? What's up? Talk to us.
All right, listen. Like I said, I'm going to leave the legal stuff to the people in the chat that have more brains than I do.
Uh-huh.
The thing with the DoorDash driver, if I was this is me. if I was going to deliver somebody's food, I would pull into the driveway, right up to the door, and he could have did that, or she could have did that, whoever the fuck it was. Why I wouldn't have did it from the street and walked that distance? I would have pulled right in. I think that camera might have caught something, but that's just me. Okay, I mean, if it could pick up the sound of whimpering and a dog barking, I'm sure it could have picked up the visual too, somebody pulling in. And I think they have that information. They're just not releasing it. But let me tell you something. I woke up this morning and there was this, guess who's back? Justin. That fucking mongoloid of a person. He's back. And he's bad-mouthing Steve. Now, you know how I feel about Steve. Don't fuck Steve, pal. I will fuck you up. Okay? I don't give a fuck how far you live. I will drive to wherever the fuck you are just to kick your fucking ass. You mongoloid motherfucker. Don't badmouth Steve. And how he was had something to do with Kaylee's death. You little fuck. Gee. I can't help it. This guy's a real prick. And the shit that he was coming out with. Jules of all trade, I think she's got something on this guy too. I don't know if he got in touch with her or what. But I'm telling you, don't fuck with Steve. I'm warning you, fuck, you PC motherfucker. Don't fuck with Steve, because I will hunt you down. I will hunt you down. I hope he's listening.
I don't even. Papa Sal's going ham.
Don't fuck with Steve, pal. I will fucking kick your monkey fucking ass. Okay? But anyway.
Papa Sal said anyway.
What? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just I'm laughing at you. You're funny as hell.
You're laughing at me? Don't let me have to come there.
I say you're funny as hell, pal. He said I'm gonna kick. I'm trying to figure out who you're talking about. Maybe I got I think I got an idea.
Yeah. That fucking mongoloid. That guy that's half a woman and half a girl, a man.
Damn.
Did I say his name?
Just do your thing.
Justin. That fuck Justin.
Oh, man.
He's back. And he's back with a fucking vengeance, this prick. Like I said, I will fucking hunt you down. Don't. I warn you. This is a fucking warning, and this is a promise. Don't fuck with that guy. I will hunt you down, you fucking mongoloid motherfucker. Okay? Trust me. I don't lie.
Hunt you down is Papa Sal is not playing. Who the hell is Justin? Is it that dude?
Yeah, remember that guy? I think they took him off the air or something. He was coming out with all these fucking accusations and shit.
I mean, the only Justin I can remember is one that somebody had, or two people brought him up on a page. Maybe that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. He was a tranny.
Oh man.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea. I forget who that person is.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna find out because he's fucking making all these fucking statements and shit. He's gonna get his ass kicked.
I have Sal's back. Damn, people are going because I'm lost. Papa Sal ain't playing.
No, but it's true. You know how I feel about Steve. Come on.
Yeah.
I love that fucking guy. You're going to say he had something to do with Kaylee's death?
Yeah, we don't rock with that.
Prick fuck.
I definitely don't promote violence, you know what I'm saying? But
no, you don't have. I'm the one promoting the violence. You're okay.
Papa Sal, I'm the one promoting the violence.
It's true. You got nothing to do with it. I'm the one saying all this shit. All right, my time's up.
Papa Sal with him. I have no idea what you've seen and what has you as mad as you are right now, but there must have been. You said you said that Steve has something to do with killing his daughter?
Yes.
That's nasty work.
You know what it is, T? I don't go on Twitter and Snapchat and all these fucking other places. I don't go on there. But he's on, he somehow sent a long thing to Jules about what he thought happened and who's responsible and how his father works for the FBI and all this fucking shit. I don't know the exact fucking website, but I'm sure you're going to find out about it. I mean, fucking Gunner's talking about it. Jules talking about it. This fucking guy, he's back. Just like Poltergeist. He's back. This fuck.
JLR started it. It does look like the car. Oh, okay, let's talk about that.
What's that?
Papa Sal's going hand. Hey, I appreciate you calling Papa Sal. Well, I'm gonna catch up with you about that so I can find out more what you're talking about and get in depth with it.
Yeah. Give me a call later on.
Yeah.
My number. Call me after the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you. I want to talk to you about that.
All right.
I love you, pal.
I love you too, pal, and everybody in the family. I love you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk. Right. I'm gonna talk to you shortly. Shout out to Papa Sal, man. Everybody, give it up for Papa Sal, man. He's mad. Woo. Make sure you call in 219-885-9693. My man ain't playing. Papa Sal said, "I will drive and kick your ass." I have no idea what he said exactly, but pissed him off. 352, what's going on? You're live. 352, what's up? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, T, I can hear you.
Okay, I was like, hold on, what's going on? What's going on? You live?
I'm live. Well, we got to calm Sal down. Because I can't.
Papa Sal is going ham.
Oh, my God, he's kicking butt. His New York comes out very quick. He snaps on a dime.
Yes, he did. He sure as hell did.
About the case, I think we should all go back to the beginning. Because what's happening is it's just mixing up. They hear this, you hear that. Nobody's telling the truth. Maybe somebody is. They're not reading the documents. And everybody's got an opinion. Because that's just the way the world is. But the night that it happened, correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When they said that he was riding, and it was the pings or whatever they were in front of his house, there were guys standing there, remember, from the camera. I don't want to go back to that. But they said that's why he left and he came back. And it was pinging again, then wherever he was. I think that was him in the back of the house. I cannot say what went on, what went in, when he went in. All I know is I believe that Ethan and Xana were first, the poor children. Then he went upstairs because I think that's how she's seen him. But if you notice, those rooms are very small. And if the lights are out and you're sleeping, those poor kids didn't have a chance. And it's very sad. And sometimes when we are talking about it, we have to realize there are parents out there. It's very violent the way they're speaking. And on some of the channels, I don't even watch them anymore. I just watch you or listen to you, whatever I'm doing.
Yes, ma'am.
But what do you think? I think that this is just running its course. They're stalling for time because they know that they're not going to be ready for October. And could you answer this question? It's not a speedy trial?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it?
I mean, that's it. October.
Yeah, well,
that's pretty speedy to me.
Trying not to be in chat. And I'm saying, is it or not? Maybe I need the coffee too.
I think it is.
Oh, okay. Because that's what I thought. I mean, if we didn't have the grand jury, this wouldn't have happened for October.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Absolutely.
And when T's not on, I'm not recommending anybody else, but I would listen to the lawyers on this case that speak about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're trying to explain in our terms. There's a lot of legal bull in plain English. But these poor children suffered. And
absolutely.
I enjoy your show, and I even enjoy the chat. Maybe someday I could get on that Discord because I'm just like Sal. I can't follow nothing. But I do want to say goodbye, and I hope you're feeling better, you and my pup, and everybody out there. Thank you very much for hearing me out.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
This is where I used to live when I was younger. When a room is that small, we slept in 3 in a room when I was a kid. You couldn't move. So if you walked into a dark room, bing, you don't know. It just baffles me how they had the 3D on. That's what got me. I'm so sorry, T. I'm jumping. They had the 3D of the house on, and that's when I started seeing it again. And I'm going to go back to a lot because I think that I'm not comprehending a lot of things that happened in the beginning because I forgot. But you have a good day, and I enjoy your show. And thank you to everybody out there for listening to me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate you calling in. God bless you.
God bless you too, T.
All right. Bye-bye. Shout out to her. I appreciate it. Calling in. 219-885-9693. Make sure you call in. Who the hell said that on Twitter? You're crazy. You are wild. Oh my God, Justin, the story is 100% or 100 times crazier every time he comes back. Don't believe a word. Says his day was investigating Fry. Says his what? His dad or dad was investigating Fry when he was killed. His aunt worked with Steve G. Payne was his supervisor. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. That's what that sounds like. Sounds like bullshit to me. 916, you're in the mix. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to call back after listening to Heather. She's the gal that's an attorney. I think she's very smart. She said a few things that I just wanted to say something about if I could.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's, I think that it's a slippery slope to start saying that, cops are, they're all doing illegal things or they're dirty. The truth is prior to 2020, 2019, a lot of cops are doing some shady shit. And I don't think you're going to be able to find any department back in the day that wasn't doing something that wasn't totally, whether, hiding their body cam evidence or whatever, or saying that it wasn't there and it was really shelved. But I do not think that Idaho PD and or all the law enforcement agencies that surround that place are even kind of interested in framing Brian Kohlberger. Now, what she's saying, though, is that they do have a history of doing some things that were shady that Ann Taylor has been able to win on appeals because they did that stuff. That is true with that, just because you can look at some of the cases, like for instance with that church guy. Remember, I told you about that story about how his kids were putting stickers, on things, and then they arrested his son and his cousin. Remember that? For standing too close to each other during the pandemic outside during a church event.
Nah, I didn't see that personally. That situation.
Yeah, well, bottom line is that they said they didn't have the body cam footage of the arrest, and sure enough, they did. But the point is, I just think it's a really slippery slope, especially with the case this big, to think that Idaho PD is going to put any, I think that's wishful thinking, that we're hoping that Idaho PD is going to be so stupid that they're going to, screw this entire major case by putting in testimony from a cop who has, and we've already dealt with that in the beginning, that has had dirty testimony in the past. I also think that, listen, guys, if that was Dana and Ethan at that grub truck, don't you think that Kaylee and Maddie would have said hello? I just think that it's really easy just to get so bored and just so agitated mentally with the gag order that we go in and we start with a fine-tooth comb looking at things, trying to find things that just simply are not there. And that's what creates false speculation, in my opinion. And like she did say this, though, that we went from having like 1 video to 10 videos, and that's when you speak about the terabytes, T-REV, about how many, and that's probably where it went up. And that's what Papa Sal was saying, too, is there's probably video evidence of him. And I agree with Papa Sal that if I was a DoorDash driver, I would have pulled right to the front, right? Not to the back.
Right.
And then also to think this guy's making, like she said, about $4K a month, and you think this guy's going to take a side job as a DoorDash driver and just happen to take this one call? No? Hello? No? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening. Go.
You DoorDash, haven't you before?
Absolutely.
Do you just take one call a month, or just once out of the blue moon say, that's my call? That's the one I want. I've been waiting for that one because I want to murder these people.
It just doesn't work that way when you're DoorDash.
Right.
Period. It doesn't work that way. Anybody who's DoorDash knows that.
And not only that, but cops have already had subpoenaed DoorDash to find out if Brian Kohlberger was their driver. Anyway, I just wanted to put that in there with, listen, Heather, she's very intelligent, and I just want to know, I think she's great. But I think that some of the things that she said is you start speculating, like she was saying that other girl did, that was you guys really liked once before, but was speculating about the DoorDash driver. I just think that's, I'm not down with that. So I just think it's got to be careful there. Okay, that's it.
Well.
Oh, and Papa Sal, man, take a chill pill, bro. Breathe. My God, you're going to get yourself worked up. Next thing you know, you're actually going to be getting in your car, driving down to this guy, and who knows what's going to happen. Breathe.
Papa Sal's going ham. Papa Sal's going ham. He ain't playing.
I know. It's a curse word here. I'm going to have to call him and tell him what the heck's wrong with you. I'm going to send him a medication pill. All right. Love you, Papa Sal. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Weston. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Lock your damn doors, too. Weston for calling in. I appreciate it. Hold up. You know what? 11:30. Papa Sal, heart attack, buddy. He said Papa Sal having a heart attack. 219-885-9693. Make sure you call in. I love the hello. I was listening. I thought she was still going. Papa Sal ain't having no heart attack. He's passionate about this case too. Justin is crafting an alibi for DM. The trans issue is worth looking into. Justin, you can't fool me. Love this caller. Go girl. He's not being framed. FBI involved. His DNA is there. The year of the car. The dramatics, please. So they were off a few. They all look the same in a period of time. That is true when you pull up the years of the car. That is true. That was cute. Hold up. So y'all are talking about this right here. I see a lot of people talking about this food truck footage. The food truck footage. Papa Sal is great. F heart attacks. I am late. So we need to look at that. Food truck footage. Let's see, I don't know where I want to click on it from. I thought I had it on this computer, but maybe not. Some people will try to strike you for playing their shit. I don't even trust people's channels no more. I know it's on Twitch, though. I know for a fact it's on Twitch.
People like eating eggs.
People like eating eggs. I'm trying to remember the name of the Twitch channel. What the was it? Okay, I remember it now. I got it. Let's pop that up. I don't answer unknown callers. Sorry. I'll pass on that. $580. What's going on? You're live.
Hey, T-REV.
What's going on?
In the house. Getting on a little late today. What's going on in the chat? Or what's going on your live today? I mean, I got on a little late.
Oh, we're just talking about what the defense thinks the prosecution is hiding from them that they showed to the grand jury.
Yeah, I kind of caught a little something this morning, way early this morning, when I first got online, started working, about some of the documents that were dropped about them now asking for extension, saying that they didn't get all their information. Some of the things that was asked, they were asking is, why is the state still trying to block discovery or blocking the stay? They haven't given all the cell phone data, only gave pages and file numbers to audio videos. It sounds to me, my just personal thought is the defense is basically wanting the prosecution to just hand them, just give them everything they want. In other words, tell me exactly where it's at, where the defense is just turning it over and say, no, we turned it over to you. It's in such and such files, or it's on page such and such. Go look for it. It just sounds to me like a little game playing going on there back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all going to have to be turned over in discovery, or it can't be used in court to begin with, But they've already given it to the defense. The defense is just complaining. I think it's a big deal. Just again, asking for more time now until they get the information. I don't think they're going to be granted it. I think that in my opinion, I think that the prosecution is going to have to turn over a little more information to them, because now they're asking for an itemized list. I believe he said some type of itemized document that had everything in chronological order on the cell phone towers. I believe that's what they were talking about. I could be wrong on that, not real sure. Also, I need to correct myself. I think yesterday I said something about Donna's comment about them wanting to know, or them getting the information on the grand jury and how they were convened. At first, they were talking about that stuff as all kept private. Come to find out today, they disclosed that because this grand jury was convened for just this case, they can get that information and are privy to it. Had it been a grand jury that was a standing one, that see several different cases, they wouldn't have got that information. But because this grand jury was pulled together just for this case, they will and can obviously get that information. So they're trying to find out what they were shown to try to poke holes in that, to possibly say that I can't say that word right,
exculpatory
evidence that's going to give him an alibi, is basically is what it's going down. It's what's boiling down to. They're wanting a complete. Oh, now they want a complete list of all types. A list of all types of tips that came in. Also,
And were they reliable? Every tip that came in, they want a complete chronological order of that. And were they reliable, and did they follow up on them? Mm-hmm. In other words, did the police department do their job? They're trying to poke holes in every way, form, or fashion to get this case note out, is what I think is going on. You know, to see if the state did their job with all the other suspects. So that's what I kind of heard on that this morning when the documents were dropped about them saying, hey, we still got all of our information, you know, we're handed all this stuff. To me, it sounds like the defense just said, here's your stuff, give me a big old long, huge file with no information on where everything is. And they're wanting to know, other than certain things are on page numbers and certain things are on the audio file, video file number, such and such, but they're not giving them the exact location of that. That's kind of the gist I got from it today.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm looking through documents on my other screen right now. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what the hell, like, what is this battle for? I mean, I feel like a lot of people in chat are right, because I'm just not seeing anything besides there's stuff that we don't know about. And what could it be that they're hiding? I just don't. It still baffles me. Like I said, I had to look through documents last night, and I'm sitting here now still baffled about what they think the prosecution is hiding from them, because a lot of people come in chat and they're like, well, they're holding out information from the defense team. Well, what information?
I don't necessarily think they're hiding the information. They're not wanting to give everything up. They're just not wanting to hand them over to here. Here's everything we're going to present in trial. You know, here's your discovery. Go figure out how we're going to put this case together. And the defense is like, well, you're saying you're giving us this, but we're not finding it, because they want, okay, what page is it on? What file number is it in? Well, they've already given them a lot of that information. I just think that they do think that they're, and here's another thing. If Kohlberger thinks there's something in there for sure that is going to make this trial go away, and that's what they're looking for. There's got to be, he knows something. You know what I'm saying? He's not telling something. If there's something in there he knows for sure, they're just not finding it. So evidently what he's saying he knows is not there. And why is everybody still talking about the
DoorDash driver?
DoorDash driver. What's up with that?
I don't know. A lot of people are saying the DoorDash driver now is Brian Kohlberger. That's what I've been seeing a majority of.
That was just proved a long time ago. So I don't know why people are still speculating on a DoorDash driver being Brian. Yep, that's crazy.
They're saying that the DoorDash driver allegedly is a Brian Kohlberger, which is weird.
No, I mean, that's too easy to find out. There's just no way that that's going to happen. That's just my belief. I mean, I just when I clicked on here, that's the first thing I was hearing. I'm like, why are they talking about that? I thought we'd already squashed this.
People are friggin' weird about. I have no idea. I just know people are digging for anything and everything that they could possibly latch onto.
I think it's because, and just like the person prior to this, I think that I was on just a while ago. I think it's because they want so badly to have information, and because of the gag order, they can't get to that information. So now they are. I mean, they'll just make up shit, or they hear something and they run with it like crazy.
I definitely don't think he was the DoorDash driver. I don't.
No, I think if that was the case, it would be too cut and dry. You're done. You're toast. He wouldn't be fighting this like he is.
If he was the DoorDash driver, they would have got that information and jumped right onto him from the jump.
Oh yeah. Because that was one of the first people that they investigated. They wouldn't even have kept looking for Brian, you know?
Right.
Or looking for a white Elantra.
I got you, Jeff. Yeah, that's, I don't know. That shit is just reaching.
Yeah.
I see.
I heard my brother was up. I just wanted to call in and kind of give you a little. I was listening to the lawyers again this morning. Actually, I guess they put it out yesterday. I just did a rerun of it as I got on this morning, waiting for you to come on. And then I guess I didn't even catch it when you first popped on. I got in a little late, so that's why I was wondering what the crap was with all the DoorDash crap.
All the DoorDash driver stuff. Hold up, Jeff. Yeah. This over. Let's pull it up, Jeff.
Do what?
No, I said Jeff told me he emailed something. I'll pull it up on screen now.
Okay. I guess I'll see it when I get off my phone then, because I'm just sitting here keen. I'm still sitting there just working away talking to you, but I'll pull it up here in a minute, take a look at it.
Yeah, I just pulled it up now.
What you look at? Yeah. But did you go in there and did you read through those documents that they dropped? Where they're, I think they're trying to block. The state is trying to block the discovery. Hold on. My note says, why is state trying to block discovery, block the stay? And that's because the defense is saying they haven't given all the information. So there's some new docs. I don't know if you've seen those or not, but he read through some of them this morning. Kind of interesting.
Which ones? Because there's so many documents in this case.
Well, it's where they're trying to block the stay. I think yesterday I don't think they were the same docs you were talking about that you were reading yesterday. What were you reading on yesterday?
A lot. What documents are you talking about?
Hold on, let me get you.
Because there's something. I'm telling you, I have plenty of them in my folder right here. Let me see. I could start reading them off. Let me pull out.
Yeah, well, the ones that we're talking about today was where he was going down through through all the paragraphs and stuff and talking about where they were trying to block what they weren't getting, what the defense is saying they haven't gotten, and the prosecution is saying they've given it here. It's on it's on such and such page. It's in certain files. In other words, they were bickering back and forth over whether they've got the information or not. And I guess that sound like the state was trying to fight this stay that they're asking for.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shit that's been dropping lately, like the Media Coalition. There's so many different documents that have been dropping lately. And it's a bunch of shit.
I'll go look and see if I can find it, and I'll just email it to you.
Yeah, definitely email me the part that you're talking about, because I have a whole folder full of PDFs.
Yeah.
Probable cause, Media Coalition, all these different ones that I have right here.
I think, well, actually, it was yesterday, because the recording I was listening to this morning was from yesterday. I know Lucy was on there, so she's on here and she's listening. She can probably put in the chat exactly what docs I'm talking about, because she was asking questions as well.
These ones, which one is this? The search for control of AT&T here after the service provider, including any message, record, files, logs, and information that have been deleted but are still available to the service provider and preserved. There's a bunch of stuff I have in here that is underlined. Let me see. Paperwork. What is this one? Oh, that's the charges. Let me exit that one. I have so much stuff in here. Good God. I need to upload my folder so people can see all this stuff that's in here. I remember this. This is from the beginning. Wow. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Nancy Grace.
You betcha. Anytime. I'll be listening.
God bless you. Lock your door. Oh, she was saying you have a good day. Shout out to her. Hmm. 951, what's going on? You're live. Papa Sal. What's up, pal?
Look, I just want to call back and say, I apologize for acted the way I acted. But I meant every word of it. But I do want to apologize for what I said, and I don't want to disrespect your channel or anything, But buddy, I mean, he's talking some really bad shit.
Right.
Where does he have the right to come out and say things like that? Can he be fucking executed for slander? I mean, come on. The fuck? And that's why I fucking lost it. Because, and I'm telling you, see, if you've seen half the shit this guy said, and I hope you do, I hope you look it up and look at some of the stuff he said, you would be fucking crazy too. You just don't blame Steve for pulling the hit, saying that Kaylee put a hit on some other guy. Some other guy was killed and Kaylee had something to do with it, telling us Dylan is a tranny. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
I don't pay attention to none of these fucking tinfoil wearing bozos. You know what I mean? All they're doing is just putting out shit for clicks. That's it. That's all it is. They're not discussing anything they're discussing, police are, we're doing this with this phone, or police were doing that. They took pictures of Kaylee's ID. They did this, that, and the third. They're gathering information, putting it together just for something for people to talk about. That's all it is. They're not going over facts in the case. These cocksuckers out here in the community are just digging for what brings in the most viewers. That's all it is. That's all. And people need to pay attention and be hip to it. These people are saying whatever. They're getting people to call into their shows who aren't even connected to anything, acting like they are. And people are falling for this shit, and it's a problem.
Yeah. It's
a problem.
It's no good.
I called this out a long time ago, but we could revisit it because it's going on right now to this day.
Yeah. And it's sad. It really is. It just fucking pisses me off.
These cocksuckers, all these people are doing are digging up things and doing whatever will make them pop on YouTube and grow as fast as they possibly can. Why? Because to them, this is a business. They don't give a fuck about the victims. They don't care if the victims get justice. They care if their channel grows. There is a difference in between genuine people and people who are on YouTube for as a business. There is two different ways that people go about this shit. Now, that's what I'm saying. There's nasty work being done out here. Now, whatever. That I can't relate to those people. You know what I'm saying? I can't relate to those people. I relate to the people who actually give a fuck, though. I promise you that. I can relate to them more than I can relate to anything else.
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from when it comes to you seeing things like that put out about Steve. I mean, that's why I got tired of all the shit that was being sent in to me by No Chains, and I'm name dropping at this point. I don't give a fuck. No Chains and the Chicantique and all these other people who were sending in these different pictures. Oh, this was the murder scene and this was this, that, and the third. No, it isn't. Stop. You ain't like, this is bullshit. At one point we had to cut that off. And I don't care if I have to take a hit, stay in the same spot. I'm not fitting to do some shit to try to grow my channel over. That's being selfish and hurting the victims' families. And it just it's not right. It's not right at all. Stick around the facts in the case. And the facts in the case right now is everything that's going on in front of you. Now, people want to point out, there's a lot of corruption, this, that, and the third. Yeah, there's some type of internal affairs investigation going on, but that doesn't mean that that's what's going on in this case specifically.
Yeah, man. I wish these people that do have people like that on, as soon as they would say something like that. As soon as they, like you say, vet these people, as soon as you're finding out, whoa, this guy's talking about fucking Steve did this, and Kaylee had this one killed, and you got to say, no, you don't promote that shit. Don't. But I know what you're saying. They're doing it for the clicks. I get it.
They're doing it to piss people off like you, but not only to piss you off. There is okay. So for instance, let me break this down into one little sentence. In this case, there's people that have questions. Now, those people that have questions, I get those questions. I understand that. But they're also entertaining the conspiracy side of it, which I really don't believe there's no conspiracy in this case. I honestly don't believe it. The same people that are saying there's a conspiracy in this case told me their brother works for the NFL and is, part of writing the scripts. And literally and wrote that in my Discord chat and said, oh yeah, the Eagles were gonna. I forget who they said. They said the Bills were gonna win the Super. Like, these are the same blown out people who have tinfoil hats on that literally said so many different misleading statements. Oh, Christy Gonsalves is a money launderer, and Ashlyn Couch has part in this murder. And trust me, there's 9 or 10 people involved, and it's those same people. They're interested, and that's why. There's a large group of those people that are on YouTube looking at this Idaho 4 case, and they're attracted to the conspiracy side of it. That's where most of the viewership is, on the conspiracy side of it. So that's why you see all these channels going towards the conspiracy part of this case, which there is none right now, in my opinion. Where is the conspiracy at? People are making up angles. There's something new every day. There's some new conspiracy in this case every day with a YouTube creator making it, and being the statue and the amount of subscribers they have, people run with this shit. And that's why I read emails like I read and see these videos sent in like I see. These people are just taking shit, putting it out there, and a mass majority of people see it, and they go around and they go to these people's channels and go, oh, well, you're following mainstream media, or you're doing this, that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're on the conspiracy side of it. They want it to be the people they thought it was before somebody was arrested. They're not okay with it just being one person, and they capture the guy. Oh, something's wrong here. He could have never did it in this amount of time. That's what's going on here, man. I'm telling you, people are stuck in the speculation phase of this case, which was before Brian Kohlberger was arrested. There's a gag order on this case. Of course, there's a lot of unanswered questions. There's going to be unanswered questions until trial. And then when that shit happens, there's going to be some people that you see that won't be okay with it. And then you're going to see those creators be like, well, I was just pointing out things that I had questions about. It wasn't no hard feelings. So you're going to hear a lot of that too. So sit back and watch and wait for that, because that's coming. Like I said, people... You got the creators that look at this shit as a business, and then you got people who are going to stick to the facts based around this case as much as they possibly can, because they care and they think about the victims' families, and they think about what they have to look at when they turn on YouTube or they get these videos sent to them. So there's clearly a big difference.
I could, I let a lot of that conspiracy shit go through one ear and out the other. I do. I really do, because I believe what I believe, and a lot of what you believe, I'm with you 100%. But when you come out and disgrace and accuse people of murdering somebody else, and to say her father, had something to do with it, that I can't let go through one ear and out the other. Like, you son of a bitch. That just fucking pisses me off. And again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want anybody to think I'm some kind of an animal or something, although that's to be questioned.
And those are the same people dressing up as Chris Watts' wife and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Those are the same people that do shit like that.
Yeah.
So you can't let what you turn on and see get to you, because you're gonna see a lot of that on YouTube. You're gonna see these people that just don't give a shit. They don't care about victim shaming. They don't care about none of that. This shit's a game of Clue to these people. They don't give a shit about any of that. They care about their tip jar being filled up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They care about their channel growing. They don't, and they're gonna do whatever they got to do to make their channel grow, however they got to do it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's what it's about.
Yeah, and I thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and you make a lot of sense. You know what you're talking about, and I'm just a listener that, I'm stating I get my opinions, right? And that's what the show's about. People, saying what they think might have happened and this and that. And that's all well and good, but you can't talk like that. You can't. There's got to be a line. There's got to be a fucking line that can't be crossed. Otherwise, you're just as low as the motherfucker that's talking about it. You're just as bad, if not worse, because you're promoting this prick, this fucking mongoloid. He's a fucking mongoloid. But I got to calm down because I got to go do laundry. I need some fucking clothes to be washed. So, listen, I love you. I love you very much, and I love the people in our family very much, and I love the victims and the victims' families. There's so many nights I fucking cried thinking about Steve, what he's thinking about, to the point where I give myself a fucking headache, and I don't even know these people. I don't even know these people. And I cry. And I'm not the type of person to cry. But these people, man, they got me. They got me. And I love them. And don't talk bad about anybody I love, because I will fuck you up. Okay? Don't talk bad about people I love.
Yeah.
And I love you.
Hey man, it's a nasty world in the YouTube community, man. Just YouTube as a platform, you're gonna have to see nasty shit. It just is what it is. Like I said, there's people that look at this shit as a business, which clearly, to be honest with you, 100% straightforward with you, YouTube is a business. That's why they have partnership programs and all that stuff. You go into business with them, right? And what do people want to do? They want to grow their channel. They want to become a figure in the community, right? And there's ways that, so people, what they'll do is they see the algorithm is leaning more towards like, for instance, it doesn't even have to be true crime. Whatever the algorithm's leading towards. So right now, for instance, say I ended this live and tomorrow I come on and I go, Brian, I come out with some type of, I make a thumbnail and I say, I think Brian's innocent. There's not enough. And I come up with a theory like, cops were crooked. I guarantee that negativity of the case is going to bring in more of a crowd. I don't want to do that because I don't believe that in my heart. So why do something I don't believe in my heart to bring in a larger audience to please? I'm good on that. I'd rather bring in the people that are following the facts in this case, like I'm following the facts in this case. Now, if people are in here and think there is shit that's fucked up, I salute you. I salute you for your opinion. But at the same time, I'm not going to follow something that my heart doesn't feel is right, which I don't feel as of right now. I think the police has done a good job. I think they fucked up in a few spots. I think they fucked up with saying the community was okay in the beginning. Maybe there's answers to that, and that's why I said let's wait till the trial for stuff like that to come out, because there's a gag order on the case. We're not going to hear much about certain things until that gag order is either A, lifted, or B, lifted, period. So it's gonna, with the gag order being there and shit being so tight, we're gonna get information little by little as these documents drop out to the public to get their hands on, there's a lot of unanswered questions, and people are spinning it to their own narrative, and those narratives are falling off onto other people. And people, come on, man, like you're saying right now, you love these victims, you know, they got you, right? So if something, you know, people are taking these things and they're taking it to heart. Like I said, people are stuck in that speculation phase. They can't get out of the speculation phase. So they're unhappy with it being whoever it is locked up right now. So they're angry and yelling and finding different holes to poke and saying, you know, this, that, and the third. And that's where the algorithm's at with this case. If you talk about something that's messed up in this case right now, like, for instance, what the community is screaming. They're screaming, oh, there's, you know, Brian's the fall guy. Brian's being set up, or, you know, this, that, and the third for Jesus. I mean, Jesus Christ, the dude's fucking DNA was on a sheath. I don't care. Touch DNA, etc. That's why I believe Brian Koberger is our guy, allegedly.
Yeah.
You know, there's 51 terabytes. There's got to be a lot of video footage. If you pull up these maps, there's houses that are crossed out and blurred out. Why? Because I guarantee those houses have video footage on them. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. They're not blurred out for no reason.
Yeah. Yep. I believe that too. Yeah.
They're not blurred out for no reason. But like I'm saying, man, there's a conspiracy following in this case, and people are obsessed with that shit. That's it. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Well,
period.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me, T. Thank you.
Oh, you just gotta, you know.
I love you guys.
I've already went ham on this bullshit of what I think about, you know, all these different people that are, you know, there's like, for instance, I read a tweet the other day from a creator that I know, a larger following. He said, I don't tell you how to pay your bills, so I don't want you to tell me how to pay mine. There's your answer right there on all the information that somebody drops. They look at this as a paycheck.
Right.
When you look at things at a paycheck, you don't care who you're hurting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll cover anything. If somebody sends in some information and it, you know, pertains to the case, like for instance, Emma and Demetrius, right? That whole thing was spinned out.
Yeah.
You know, people don't care who they hurt. I mean, we've heard a lot of people on this channel from the beginning. The speculation on the Jacks, the speculation on all these different people that we've seen. You know, Jack Showalter, I thought he did it. Jack DeCour, etc. Allegedly, at the beginning of this case, we've heard a lot of people on this channel, and I've publicly apologized multiple times for the hysteria phase that we went through. But we just wanted to see justice play out for these victims, and we still want to see justice play out for these victims. And if something smells like shit at some point, I'll call it out. But as of right now, I think they have the right guy. That's just me, but I'm still questioning things in my mind. And if I think that the dude is innocent with some type of evidence that comes out that shows that, of course, I'm not gonna. Who wants the wrong person to sit in prison?
Right.
I get the innocent until proven guilty part. I'm just an opinion. I'm not a juror. I'm not a lawyer. I don't. You know what I mean? Like my opinion does not make this dude guilty or not guilty.
Yeah.
I am interested in the case just like everybody who is in here right now.
Right.
Point blank, period. But I'm not about to go spin off narratives of you know, multiple people being involved when I have no clue to that.
Right.
If I see a receipt that shows that, then we can jump into that. But I have yet to see a receipt, nothing but just accusations. As of now, they got the DNA off the sheath, phone pings of him by the house, him coming back. There's just a bunch of different things that show me right now Brian Koberger's the guy, allegedly. But if something does come out concrete that shows me otherwise, I can go with that. But I mean, it is what it is.
Right. Right. All right, brother. You know, it's because of everything you just said That's why we're here. That's why we're loyal and dedicated to you. We love you. We love the way you think. We know your heart's in the right place. And that's why we're here.
I appreciate you, Papa Sal. I'm just,
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. I love you.
I love you, pal. Do your laundry. Get your shit done.
I gotta do fucking laundry. What a bitch. All right.
I'll talk to you.
Take care, guys. Everybody, take care.
I'll talk to you in a little bit, pal.
Good. Okay.
Shout out to Papa Sal. Shout out to Papa Sal, Papa Sal's got to hear it. He's getting worked up over the stuff he's seen. I mean, I've got to that stage before. Been there. We did. We apologized. Oh, we love you, Papa Sal. What up? Congratulations, buddy. What's going on, man? I'm sure there is a boatload of evidence. The Delphi situation sucks. It's a Ranger. Anyways, I feel like let me see. Where we at with it? Damn, I missed a lot of chat. Love you, Papa Sal. Boston Hippie, good to see you. Thanks, T. If this channel made you millions, I would make it happen. If this channel made me millions, it wouldn't be because I begged for it. I promise you that. Emma and Demetrius was started by the same person who let others run with it. Then they came back and debunked other creators, making out they were foolish, only proving themselves to be foolish. He's going to take a plea deal. You think so? You think in the end he's going to take a plea deal? I think T is the only one who realizes we know nothing about them. Yeah, that's a fact. We know nothing about the autopsies. Nothing. 772 is going on. You're live.
Hey T, it's Granny.
Hey, what's going on?
I didn't want to talk a long time. Am I echoing? Do I have to turn something on?
No, you're fine.
Okay. A couple of things, and thank you for all that you just shared. It's important that we keep our focus.
Mm-hmm.
About the trial, Ann Taylor, the documents, etc. She's a smart cookie, and she has gotten people free who were guilty of murder. Oh, I don't know if they were guilty or innocent, but she has gotten people off of murder trials in the past because of police error, which I guess is a possibility. I think he's guilty. I think she knows that he's guilty, but it's her job. Like, even if I went to her and said, I just stabbed 7 people to death, she still has a responsibility to defend me the best way she can. It's a horrible job. I wouldn't do it. And I guess it balances out for the people who are charged with things who are innocent. So I guess that's how you sleep at night. I don't know. You also spoke about earlier, how come there's no fancy lawyers in this case? Like, where are all the, like the guys like O.J. Simpson lawyer kind of people that should be jumping on this as an opportunity to promote themselves just pro bono?
Mm-hmm.
The gag order, I thought we were supposed to have some kind of a reconciliation about that a couple days after the last thing, but I've heard no more. So I'm not going to stay on long, but I do want to read one little passage. It's about 3 or 4 sentences, and this is from Brian Koberger's diaries from his visual snow days. This is what he wrote at the age of 16. These are his words. As I hug my family, I look into their faces. I see nothing. It is like I'm looking at a video game, but less. I feel less than mentally damaged. It is like I have severe brain damage. I am stuck in the depths of my mind where I have to constantly battle my demons. Am I here or am I fake? I feel myself slipping away. I hear screams faintly, but I constantly battle away from it. What if I let go? Where would I be? Would I ever come back to reality? And these are just his words. This is the guy we're dealing with. So for the people out there who think that he doesn't have this kind of potential, this is his mind at 16. This is allegedly before the heroin and before all the education of crime. And I just wanted to say that because I think what goes on in his brain and how he got here is something that if we, as a country, as a group, as a world, can look at these things and try to figure out what makes these people tick, maybe there's a possibility some could be prevented. And that's all I have to say.
So can you tell everybody what you just read?
What I just read is from his Visual Snow Diaries. And he goes under the name Exar, Those with Visual Snow. Mm-hmm. And it's from, he was 16 at the time he wrote it. It was in July of 2011. There's lots and lots more. Karma posted it all in our Idaho 4 page in our Discord. But it's out there for anybody who wants to read it. That's just one snippet of sentences that I just read. It goes on and on and on, you know, how he's mean to his father and he can't recognize himself in the mirror. He used to have blue eyes. Now they're dark and can't see. I mean, he's got problems. And it's the kind of personality that would do something like this. And I just think it's something we could maybe focus on more. Of course, he's innocent until proven guilty. And like I said, I think Ann Taylor is very good. And, there's the possibility that she will be able to get him released back into the world. And that's what we're going to get. Yeah. So just something for us to think about. And I just wanted to share that. That's all I got to say today.
Vanny, I appreciate you for calling in as usual. You already know. Lock your doors, stay safe, and thank you.
I will.
For your voice and being a voice in the community. We appreciate you.
Okay, T. You have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Linda. Linda. Where we at, man? Where we at? 412, what's going on? You're live.
Hey, I was just giving you a call. This is Alea from Pittsburgh. I've been sitting here listening to you guys, and I hear about the conspiracies and the backs and the fourths and the back. But what makes me upset is I see so many people react to things that he's done in the past and say, well, you don't know if that's really true that he wrote it.
Right.
What do you mean? That's ridiculous. Of course he wrote it. Of course, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not saying he's guilty.
Right.
I'm leaning that way. But what I'm saying is we've got to start facing reality that he has done some things. His sister said, why are you wearing gloves? That's not a natural habit of him. Not according to his family. And then they'll say, well, we don't know if his sister really said that. Okay. But, okay. All right. But anyway, what I'm saying is Brian has done some very strange and extraordinarily weird things. And it all accumulates to he should have been seen. We should have been watching him. No, he shouldn't have came to WSU. His family shouldn't have been so lenient. I mean, they haven't even been back down there. They've shown no real loyalty to him other than that's my son. I hope he's okay. But they know more than anybody. That's the biggest evidence for me is their reaction to him. No one has, the sisters are fired, quote unquote, right? Mm-hmm. So none of them have come to Idaho. They don't have nothing to do. They could come down there and one of them just represent for him when he goes to court. They're not showing up for reasons. Steve Gonzalez is not, he says, when Steve talks, he'll say, well, if it's the right guy. But then if you really listen to him, he's telling us this boy hunted those girls down and decided that was the day he was going to do it. I don't care if he's the DoorDash driver, if he's not the DoorDash. I really see him doing this. I'm looking for the evidence. I want to see the evidence. I really do. I'll go with what the evidence points to. But I'm leaning towards guilty just watching him do the things he does. He's just like, I did it, but I'm going to fight the grand jury. We're not even going to go into the evidence. We're just going to fight the grand jury. It's insane to me to watch these people just carry and spin in every which way, trying to figure out if he didn't do it. Just watch. The evidence is going to come out. I just can't wait for it. It's too much for me. I don't understand why no one believes that in his past, before he thought he was going to be a criminal, he was 16. It's just before when he went to go do drugs. Yes, he wrote that down. Then he went on drugs, which is, everyone knows, is the eye-opener to the inner soul of what we're going to do. So he loosened the chain of what he was holding on to when he was 16. He tried to fight it off with going to criminology school and getting smarter and smarter, but he went deeper and deeper inside of himself. And boom, he just did what he did. I'm sure he regrets it, but I'm sorry. I mean, I know I'm supposed to say innocent until proven guilty, and I do feel that way to some extent, but I'm leaning towards guilty. Just watching him. It's not even the evidence. It's not the chief. It's just him and how his family's reacting to him. Because my family's poor, but when I'm in trouble, and if they feel like I should not be in jail, or if they feel like I definitely didn't do it, somebody's coming to make sure I'm okay or to show representation. They've only shown up when he was in Pennsylvania.
Right.
And I don't understand why no one is noticing that. I don't understand that. I mean, they're being his family because they love him, no matter what he does. But at the same time, they acknowledge he did that. It's just, I don't know. It's just driving me nuts looking at this. It really is. It's just too much. I get so frustrated with the way they keep on talking about every piece of evidence that comes out. Oh, no, that's not good enough. We need more. Okay, here's some DNA. No, we need more. It's a bloody sink. This blood should be everywhere. We need more. No, we don't need more. We don't need more. We got it. And wait for them to open it up. And as far as he keeps saying that the prosecution hasn't given him all the evidence, they've given him what they're supposed to give him. They're not going to give him any more than what the law says he can have. They gave him the audio. They gave him the transcripts. Well, we want the deliberation. When have they ever allowed anyone to see the deliberation of any jury, especially the grand jury? When? I mean, when have you... Who goes in there with... They don't even let the prosecution, anybody, in their deliberations while they're figuring it out. So now, instead of us focusing on whether Brian did it or not, we're now going to go prosecute the entire grand jury and figure out what they did in deliberation?
We need more.
We need more.
Yeah, no doubt. We need more. I mean, that's what it is out here right now. We need more. I mean, DNA on the sheath, pangs, allegedly phone. Or I mean, if you go and pull up on Google Maps and see all these places that are blurred out, I'm speculating that those are places that they pull camera from. So
yeah, and if you're watching, that the part where you see that man coming down from the blue house, he has the camera in his hand. The camera from the blue house is right next to the 1122, and I remember them talking about the blue camera wasn't there. Did they take the camera? And I was like, I wonder if they took the camera. And then I'm sitting there watching your show, and I see the excerpt where he's coming down the steps. I'm like, that's a camera. He took the camera. They have 51 terabytes of evidence besides the 10,000 pages and the 9,000 pictures more that they've given them. Are you serious? You can tell that the defense is afraid because they're going straight to the grand jury. They're not even going to go to court. They don't want to do none of that because it's too much evidence against him. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have Xana having him taped on that on her TikTok, because they said, well, she was on TikTok at 4:12. He was in the house at 4:12. So what did she catch on TikTok?
We need more.
We need more. Well, we need to see that TikTok.
It is. I mean, that's what's going on out here. We need more.
Crazy.
We need more. You're not going to get more in a gag order case. I mean, finally, just on the Delphi case, they finally just said that he allegedly that he
admitted it all throughout the courts, and they're going to lift the gag off of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's 5 years. Can you imagine if they did this Kohlberger case for 5 years with this gag order? Oh my God, Count Dracula would have done it before Kohlberger could have done it. It's just insane. I am one of those people that just gets so frustrated with all the conspiracies, and now you got Justin back. Like, ooh, Justin, I tell you, my dear soul, I feel Papa style. I do, because I don't know where this boy come from or girl, whatever it is, that it just comes out, says some crazy stuff about such and such, my uncle and Mr. Fry. I used to work for this. I don't know. I'm just like, you know what? I don't even want to hear his name. I don't want to see him. I don't want to hear him. And anybody listening to him, they're stupid. They're really freaking crazy to listen to Justin. He just goes way too far. And I'm surprised that Susie Goosey did the thing she did with the DoorDash driver thing. I get it. But I don't think the police picked up the bag and went upstairs and then picked up the sheets. You got to be kidding me. That just did not happen. I don't see that happening. But anyway, this was a theory, but we've been bounced that theory out, I thought. But we can go ahead and keep on going down every which rabbit hole since we've got the gag order, I guess. And I'll just stay frustrated and quiet. But every now and then, I just want to call in to the real channel that tells the truth and has decided they're not going down super rabbit holes, and just vent out my frustration with all that they are doing, because they're doing just madness. It's just madness. You don't think so?
Yeah, no, it's definitely madness out here.
I don't understand it. I just don't. I'm watching and I'm like,
I mean, the same channels that got, or I'll say the same. There's a channel out there that has a conspiracy going with this whole thing right now. That had the conspiracy going with the Watts case.
Oh, okay.
And they I seen some shit where they were dressing up as Chris Watts' wife and all types of disrespectful shit. and had lawsuits against them. I mean, they're aiming for the same shit all over. What, to grow your channel?
Yeah, that's crazy. That is insanity. I want to start me a channel, but I don't want to get caught up in the madness. I really, really don't. It's just, there's something else around here. I'm trying to make a very wise decision, because I don't like like some of the channels I really like. Like, I like the two ladies that are at night, Lost Souls or something, and Titanium.
Yeah, Lost Souls.
Really
shout out to Lost Souls. I fuck with Lost Souls.
Yeah, yes, and I love Titanium Built. I thought I liked TNT, but I'm calling her out. I don't care. I'm gonna call her. I'm not a YouTuber. I liked her, but then she just spins all into these. Like, I'm like, oh, stop it. You're not a lawyer and you don't know what you're talking about, because that's wrong. So.
Oh, you mean Chris Watts' wife?
Huh?
You're talking about Chris Watts' wife?
No, I'm talking about Truth.
No, I know who you're talking about. Chris Watts' wife.
Yeah, all of her down and about, and like, oh my dear, it's insanity. I can't take it. I've just stopped trying to take it. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these. It's like, it would be okay if they were talking about the law like they understood the law. None of these people are lawyers, most of them. That's why I always go back to Lawyer You Know or EDB, so that I know what they're meaning behind these laws and these things that they're trying to fight, and what like this fight against the grand jury is called it's 101. But everybody's putting all of the they need to hurry up and give them all the evidence. But they said they gave them the evidence. If she want any more, yeah, we're going to have to go to court about that. Because under usual circumstances, we're not supposed to give you that. Why is that so hard to believe that she's not asking for more than she's due? Why is it so hard to believe he did that? Why would they come up with Brian Koberger? Why? Why would they come up with him? Why? Why? Emily went to their house. Why didn't they grab her? Oh, because that would be a setup. Why didn't they grab Dee? I don't know. He's never been to the house. That might be a setup. Brian, they come out of the woods with him. But they came out, but that's how it is with these murder cases. You keep looking and then you find this stranger that don't know nobody, that's slow and talks crazy and gets all meticulous with his explanations of everything, but other than that, he can't talk. That's the one that did it. Every freaking mass murder, all the shootings, it's always some strange person that just barely talks. The only one I ever see that really talked was Ted Bundy. Other than that, the rest of them, they all just be like, I just did it. Or they won't say they did it, they just not talking. But they had a whole lot of stuff to say and a whole lot of doings to do until it came to the arrest. It's like these people don't even know they're going to get arrested. But then when they get arrested, I don't know. No. I don't know. It's crazy. Because I couldn't get them to talk to me. So I killed them all. Insanity. Like it's insanity. I just had to bring it out. I just had to say something because it's driving me crazy. It is. It really is. But thank you so much for just being truthful and dropping the rabbit holes at the right time and just coming forward. Like, you the best channel ever.
You gotta
right
drop.
now.
You can't be diving down these fucking rabbit holes all day long. Like, what do I want to keep diving down these rabbit holes when there's somebody in jail? Like, if he's released and found not guilty, then we're back right to the rabbit holes.
Right. Exactly.
But why am I gonna keep diving for these rabbit holes? You know, people don't know this, but there is YouTubers that are gonna be sued.
Right.
I don't think, and people just don't know that. But
Yeah,
trust me, I got word that YouTubers are gonna be sued, and they're still doing this shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, they don't care. Oh yeah, what are they gonna do? Do like the TikToker, pretend like it never happened?
When you get papers at your front door, they'll say I didn't talk about it.
Exactly.
Remember this video. Remember me saying this right here, and click right back to this when you find out. You know, I'm not even gonna mention channels' names, but when you find out somebody is getting sued behind this, you'll see.
I believe it because it's too much. I just personally feel like they're going too far, and then they're turning around. Like Justin want to blame Steve Gonzalez, the only man. Like when I tell you I love Steve Gonzalez, like there's never been a case where I saw the names of the victims as much as or more so as with Steve Gonzalez coming out every other day. He's fighting to make sure that his voice is heard and that his beautiful daughter is heard, that his beautiful daughter's friend is heard throughout all of the Kobergers. So when you say Koberger, I think Maddie and Kaylee. I don't, like a lot of cases, you'll forget the victims. You'll get all into who's the killer and who did that and who did this and who did that. But when I tell you Steve is not playing about them kids and bring them kids to the forefront of all of this, that's what makes me say, nope, that's right. Don't go down no rabbit holes. stick with. You cannot blame Steve. You can't blame them kids. You can't say they're drug dealers. You can't say, like all of that. Like, okay, college kids get high. So what does that mean? Oh, we need to know where is the toxicology. Did anybody die from drugs? If they didn't die from drugs, I really don't want to hear nothing, because I know I live in a college town. Pittsburgh got like 10 colleges. Everybody's doing something. However,
that's where my family's from, Pittsburgh, my dad's side. Allegheny.
Oh, okay.
Allegheny.
There you go. There you go. I'm from East Liberty.
I spent a lot of time in Pittsburgh and in brick roads, cloning up there. I've been to Pittsburgh. I spent several summers and actually a couple years in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my family's from there. My dad's born and raised Pittsburgh, all throughout Pennsylvania, but mostly Pittsburgh.
Right. I love Pittsburgh. I'm telling you. I love
He broke records at I forget what high school it was. What, Allegheny High? I forget what high school it was, but he broke records there playing football. He was gonna be my dad his knee got blown out, but he was gonna he had scouts looking at him and everything. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
So where you go? Allegheny North, Allegheny South?
I want to say North.
Okay. All right. Yeah, they're still playing. They're up against Clarendon really bad now. Like Clarendon was kicking everybody's tail for a minute in that division anyway. But yeah, that's us. Period.
My dad is, he born, like I said, born and raised Pittsburgh, and he's a Pittsburgh guy.
Mm-hmm.
Everything Pittsburgh in the house.
Indeed. I just wanted to let you know, T. I'm really proud of you. I'm glad, and you're a young brother, so that's just all the greater mix, because there's so many young people doing weird, goofy stuff. But you're a younger brother, and I really appreciate watching you, seeing how it works out. I love the length of the live. I love the Discord. I don't always come on. I try to every now and then, but I'm always driving, so I really don't get a chance to. But I wanted to bring it in and just say something to you. And being from Pittsburgh, you know how we get down. We have to know the straight up facts. If we don't get the facts, that's it. Like,
What's your name? What's your name on Discord?
It's High Pisces.
Got you.
Yeah. So
Pisces, you say Spirit Box Timey and shit like that? No, is that the one or a different one?
I'm High Pisces Campaign.
Okay, I know who you are now. Okay, bet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
there's another Pisces in there too.
Yeah, there is, but she's not High Pisces.
Yeah. That's a fact.
But yeah, I just wanted to just vent it out for a second, because I get so frustrated watching some of the chats and listening to stuff. I mean, I'll like try to go to some of the other channels like JD, try to hear what they just to keep up with what they're saying. But at the same time, you're like, oh, shut up, stop it, just stop. We don't need more. And so they lift the gag order, and I just keep trying to look at the Idaho thing to see if he said anything in response to the gag order, but it doesn't come on until 5 o'clock here. So I guess I'll have to wait till 5 or 6 and see if the judge lifts some of the gag, changes up the gag. I hope he lifts it completely for a second. Let us go back in, see as much as we can see, and then you can shut everything back down real quick. But I think the gag should be opened just enough where they can at least stop the rumors. You can at least say, is he the DoorDash driver? No. And it'd be fact. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, those are the things that I want. I don't really want the evidence as much as I want them to be able to stop the madness from running down into secret snake holes that just get out of here. It's insanity. You're messing up the case by making up all of these freaking lies. You're just messing up the case. Because now you got all these conspiracies. Ann Taylor could come to YouTube and find everything she needs. And he could be guilty as freaking sin. But y'all don't want to hear talk about, oh, he might be, he wasn't there. He was the DoorDash driver and grabbed the bag and let the bag go. And that's how DNA got there. And, oh, he was never there. That was Brent Kopaka. And he did this, that, and the other. Oh, okay. And then it's all this, man, Ann need to come to YouTube. She wouldn't have no freaking problem finding what she need to find to defend Stupid Koberger. And he's right up from here from Pennsylvania. Right up here from Pennsylvania. He know he did it. That's why he look like he looks. I know Pennsylvania, when the Pennsylvania is guilty, he's sitting up there like, oh my God, okay. All right, and you just do it. For real.
She's going in today, man. She's going in today.
It's insanity. I'm so doggone sick of this stuff, and I just wanted to lift it for just 5 minutes so that they can see what they need to see and get out of there, and then just look, and then with a graph, Brian's dad is how is Brian's dad the killer? Anyway, yep, but yeah, that's all I feel.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for calling in and bringing, some people some laughs. I see they're enjoying you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Lock your doors, stay safe, and hopefully I'll talk to you again soon. I'll see you in Discord.
Absolutely. See you in Discord and keep your doors locked.
Absolutely. I will talk to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
What a good call. So sorry, I can't see what I type in. Oh man. Hold on, let me look at this list real quick. Damn, they trying to get in like a mug. All right. Appreciate you, Miz. Thank you. Pittsburgh has one of the highest crime rates in America compared to all the communities of all sizes. Facts. Says for real, for real. Shout out to everybody who called in. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Miz. Let me see. If they let these fools have all the evidence, that should work out great. I think YouTube should take over the investigation. It should have their own trial. It will be the fairest. That sounds like, I don't know. That sounds crazy. I feel like they should keep it right where it's at. Brian is never going home till you'll feel better once you finally admit it. I've been said that I think it's Brian, but I said I think it's Brian. Once I said I think it's Brian, I started getting crucified, but it is what it is. I stand on what I think. Just like everybody who calls in and stands on what they think. But shout out to everybody in the stream. I got some shit I need to go do. I appreciate everybody for being here today. I appreciate y'all. And I'll probably be back on tomorrow morning. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I love you. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody in the chat that showed love and called in. All the callers, my mods, members. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Like I said, send me in emails of other cases, shit that you think that I should cover. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Anyone who knew Kaylee would tell you the same thing. To know her was to love her. Her love for life and everyone in it was so inspiring. She made it a priority to make everyone feel so important and so loved.
There was never a day that she didn't want to race her brother because she was just determined that girls were faster than boys, or that she didn't want to go bug her little sisters.
Favorite memory for me was watching the game with her, and every time the Steelers scored, I'd pick her up and I'd hold her high in the air.
I didn't really realize that I was in love with Maddie until the summer of 2020 We went to McCall and just spent a lot of time on the water. We floated the river and just hung out every chance we got.
They went to other countries together. Karen took them to Hawaii together. We took them to Mexico together. They went to college together. They went to high school together. They lived in their own apartment together. They were sisters.
She was so positive and lighthearted and understood the gift of life more than anyone I know. I remember her getting so mad at me for caring about the little things that didn't matter. She would always tell me she wouldn't know what to do without me, and now I have to live this life without her.
And she taught me a lot of stuff. She taught me how to be a dad. And I didn't know that until she was gone, you know?
Santa, you will not be forgotten. You have impacted so many lives and have given people so much love. I hope I can make you proud and try to leave an impact on this world and on people like you did.
He had such an infectious smile and a charismatic personality. And if you knew anything about Xana as well, they were very similar in how they acted together.
They were always so happy, and the way she would talk and smile about him was something I've never seen her do before. She truly loved him so much, and I know he had so much love for her.
We are eternally grateful that we spent so much time with him. And I want to remind you that that's the most important message.